Hey, my name is Bill Gagne, and I'm here to coach you up on finishing your basement. Given the insane price of lumber right now, we're going to talk about how much it costs to frame a wall in 2021 and how you go about calculating what you're going to need. So I built a little bit of a spreadsheet and I wanted to share this with everybody and find a way to get this to you so you could use it. When I looked up the price of a 2x4 now, it was almost triple, or maybe it is triple, and my math is terrible. What it was, yeah, it is triple what it was pre the world becoming Groundhog's Day all over and over again. At this time, it used to be $3.49 for one 2x4 by 92 and 5/8 stud. Now it's $10.89. That absolutely blew me away. So you are going to want to check the local cost of your lumber. And I built this spreadsheet so that you could input that and not just get the number of studs, but the cost it is. Now, I did have one failure right now that I probably need to fix, and I'm going to work on this when I try to finalize it, is that the taxes in there are for where I live in Canada, which is 13%. So don't really take that, but use the other stuff. You could probably delete that column if you want. I'll make it shareable and you can have it. So if you want a copy of it, you're going to need to email me at basementcoach@gmail.com. Sorry. The website we're working on is basementcoach.com. There's some stuff up there, but I'm still working on it. And this is one of the things I'm going to work on and probably build some other forms so you can calculate trim work, baseboards and casing and doors, flooring, drywall, etc. So we'll try to build a little library of that for you. But for now, let's deal with 2x4 framing. So if you built a floor plan based on a couple of the videos that we had, either on paper or digitally, you're going to be a lot better off, or it's going to be a lot easier. You won't have to go around. You can just look at the spreadsheet and it'll have the dimensions on there and you can use it. So this is all stuff you can just change the numbers in and it'll update it. I calculated studs 16 inches on center, which is, say, if you divide 100 by 1.33, which is 16 inches in feet, you're going to get a number of stud. And then I included the waist. So I added 10% waist. Reason being, one, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have offcuts or whatever, and maybe you can't reuse them. And two, you're going to get warped sticks, bows, warps, curves, twists, all of that. You're going to want to go through that. You can get some serious hockey sticks in there. You're going to want to set those aside. So I've built that in. And then if you're going to go through it, have a look at with me. It's inside corners, outside corners, door openings, window openings, and then it calculates your plates as well. All of that gets done. You don't have to do that. You just have to input the numbers. So the numbers you're going to have to input is the corners, the linear feet, and then you're going to have to input the cost. And then it'll give you a line of how much everything's going to cost. What I also put in there were some of the other stuff you're going to need. Fasteners and Sill gasket and bits if you're going to use SDS. So if you look at it, you're going to use a framing gun, probably either cordless or corded. You're going to need some 3-inch screws and 3¼ inch framing nails. You're going to need Sill gasket if you're putting it on concrete, which I'm going to assume if you're using a subfloor, you do not need Sill gasket because your subfloor acts as a thermal break between your concrete and your plates, so you don't need PT either. Now, you're also going to need an SDS bit. So I use this assuming you are going to use Tapcons to screw down your bottom plates to the concrete. Why I like Tapcons is if you make a mistake and you get your wall in the wrong place, you can then unscrew it and move it. If you're using ram set nails, it's a little bit harder and more of a pain in the butt to move the walls. So I separated the ram set nails and shells on a separate line. If you look at it going below your total, it shows you what 100 ram set nails and 100 ram set shells costs. So something I didn't include was a budget for renting tools. I'm going to assume you have a circular saw, you have a drill or an impact driver, you have an extension cord. You probably don't have an SDS hammer drill or a ram set gun, so you may want to think about renting that. You may or may not have a cordless nail gun or a hosed nail gun on a compressor. So you might want to include some budget for renting that. So if you throw maybe $200 at that, depending on how long you use it for, maybe a weekend, you'll have more than enough. Something else I included here, and this is to save you effort and back pain, is delivery charge. Here it's $65 to have something delivered in town. It saves you having to go through, drive there with or without a truck or a trailer or a van or renting something, bringing it home, loading it in, loading it out. If you get the supplier to simply pre-package all of it, so they're going to bundle it together with the metal ties and they're going to drop it at your house. Done. To me, if you think about the time it's going to save you of going, picking the sticks, loading the sticks, driving, unloading the sticks, done. You could even maybe email this to your contractor desk at the local supplier and they will deliver this. Or you show up with a list and say, hey, I want to order this. You pay for it. See you later. It shows up. You pick the delivery date. It's just one of those little tricks that saves you a little bit of headache and a little bit of time and energy. You're going to have to load them all into the basement anyways. Do you really want to add having to load them in and load them out multiple times? No. If you can afford the $65, hey, look at the price of lumber. If you can afford that, I would think the $65 is well spent. So keep in mind the price of lumber changes, and that's why I have a unit cost in there so that you can change it over time. Because really, I want this to be evergreen. You want to be able to use this 6 months from now, a year from now, 2022, 2025. It's all going to apply because you can update the cost. What I want to say is please check out basementcoach.com. We're going to be adding stuff. It'll be moving forward. Don't forget Mailbag Mondays. I started that last week. I'm going to be doing it over and over and over again. If you have questions about this, other topics, I'd be happy to sit down and just answer it. I might even try to do YouTube live with it at some point. But for now, trying to get all this out at once is a lot of work. And I'm hoping this is helping everybody. So if you could, a thumbs up, a subscribe would be amazing. And as always, thanks for watching and good luck on your project.